Fox News has apologized formally to the judge overseeing the Dominion defamation case against the company. The letter sent to the judge on Friday, Fox's lawyer said it never meant to leave out information or mislead the court about Rupert Murdoch's role at Fox News. In past court filings, the company's lawyers repeatedly said Murdoch didn't have an official title at the network, but last week Fox disclosed that Murdoch is an executive officer there. Dominion lawyers argue that not having that information stopped them from getting more evidence related to Murdoch. Dominion Voting Systems is suing the news company for $1.6 billion. It says Fox told lies about its equipment during the 2020 presidential election. The defamation trial is set to begin tomorrow. Well, to get his perspective on the trial, let's bring in Joel Kaplan. He's the Associate Dean at Syracuse University's Newhouse School of Public Communications. He is in Syracuse, New York. Joel, thank you for taking the time. What do you make of this development just days before the trial?
Well, I think it was a smart move by Fox. They're not known for apologizing for just about anything. But this is a different situation. It's not like they're apologizing to the public. They're apologizing to the one person who controls their future. And he clearly was angry about a couple of things. But the main thing he was angry about was the fact that he felt that Fox and its attorneys had withheld crucial information, which you just can't do in a legal case. And so apologizing to the judge was a good first step for them, I think.
Especially as they head into the trial. Let's talk about it, the trial itself. What is the crux here? Can you walk us through the issues at the heart of all of this?
Sure. Any libel defamation lawsuit means that, one party is suing another. And because Dominion's a publicly traded company or a public company, they have to prove that Fox not only said false things about them, and that's been established. Everyone conceded that many of the things that were said on the air about Dominion was absolutely false. So that's not even an issue. So now the question is, did they act with actual malice? And people get confused about that term. It's really a term of art. It doesn't mean maliciousness. It just means, did Fox News know what they were saying about Dominion was false, or did they act with reckless disregard to whether it was true or false? It's a very high hurdle, and most public officials can never meet that because they can show that it was false, but they can't show that the media operation knew it was false. In this case, the evidence is so overwhelming that they did know it was false that Fox is in a lot of trouble right now. Yeah, we know because Fox's apology comes just days after the judge ruled that it could not argue that it broadcast this false information on the grounds that they were allegations were, quote, newsworthy. So how big of a blow is that to the defense, do you think? Well, it's a blow, but it should be expected. I mean, their main argument was that, hey, we might have known it was false, but this is the president of the United States and his minions, his acolytes. They're up there saying this stuff. We have an obligation to report anytime the president of the United States says anything. And so we were just doing that. We were just doing our job. But clearly, they knew it was false, and it went beyond that. And also in the United States, you have what you would call maybe a qualified privilege. If someone on the floor of the House said something false, yeah, you can report that. But there's no such thing really as a neutral reports privilege. You have an obligation to check out no matter who says it to you, whether or not it's true or false. And in this case, they knew it was false. And they have a lot of people watching them. Fox has a massive viewership in the United States for our Canadian viewers at home. Really big. They have a specific point of view, but it's big. What impact do you think this will have on, first, their credibility, but also Fox News' viewership? So it's interesting. I mean, they do have a big audience vis-a-vis cable, but not really. They still kind of pale in comparison to the network still. What we'll have, that's a great question, because most people understand that Fox viewers are very loyal and they only watch Fox. So they might not even know much of this is happening because Fox has not done a very good job of reporting about their own situation. But now it is so overwhelming. I don't see how they can ignore it. And people will be talking about it. And the fact that all of their stars are going to have to testify is going to be a problem for them.
People will be talking about it. The news industry, of course, will be watching it. How do you think how concerned do you think other news agencies are in general about the impact this case could have on the First Amendment rights and the freedom of the press?
So I think that there's mixed reaction amongst journalists out there, broadcast and print, everything else. Because on the one hand, many of them have disliked Fox News because they don't really see it as a legitimate news organization. They see it as a propaganda outlet or to quote Elon Musk, state-sponsored. On the other hand, anytime a media organization loses a libel lawsuit, particularly a high-profile lawsuit like this, it's going to have the potential of infringing on First Amendment rights going forward. And ironically, Fox's top supporters out there in the political world want to rethink libel protections, which really would be trouble for Fox if they redid that. So you have a lot of actors coordinating different aspects of this. So I think most journalists want to see Fox get their due, but they're in the back of their mind, they're saying, who's next?
Joel Kaplan from Syracuse University, thank you.
Thank you.